whether you think self-help is the best response or if the government should step in. And Rich mainly thought self-help and poor thought government should step in. So, you want to start with Rich?
Yeah. All right. First, okay, who's all the rich?
We're rich.
What's the top Okay, and we thought that routine charity is for the weak and it gives like men no reason to work, because if they just kept on giving, if the charities kept on giving the poor money, then there'd be no reason for people to work, because they think that they just need to, they'll just get it free and stuff. And they're not really born into being poor. It's kind of like a choice, kind of like today where you go to school and there's people that decide not to work and like not study, and then they barely pass and everything. And then there's people that go above and beyond and they get to a really good college, and that's why they get good jobs and make a lot of money. So you're not like born into it, it's more of a choice.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we had, for like dropouts and stuff, we don't think anybody should be dropping out, or unemployment. Did we agree on unemployment? Okay, well, because people are choosing to drop out, and that means they're not going to get an education, which leads to no jobs, and that means more poor people. So, and then we agreed that our government, welfare. We thought that a lot of the people that are on welfare are not using it right, like they're getting their money and then just spending it poorly. And we kind of scratched on the subject of like them drug testing and stuff, but we didn't really,
It's kind of not against, it's against your rights.
yeah, we kind of agreed it was against people's rights, but then it's their choice if they're not spending it right, so.
Okay, so for just the background, the rich basically, like Chelsea said, they didn't think they should be giving to charities, but as poor, they disagreed because they didn't all believe, you were born into it. Once you're in poverty, it's hard to get out because you can't get an education. So we said that charity is okay and they should give more to charities. And rich and poor, they all dislike Hoover because there's a point where the depression gets so bad that no matter where you at, I think government needs to step in at one point. So
So basically the rich were trying to connect like self-help and that to today, and then the poor is going to be talking about like back then when the depression actually was being catch on. But one of the things we kind of agreed on is like if there's no government like stepping in at all, it leads to a lot of just like corruption within society, because people just try and take what they can get and do what they can do. And
yeah, and back then Hoover was all about like self-help and the government shouldn't step in, but the poor people wanted the government to step in because obviously once you're poor, they weren't going to be able to, they thought they wouldn't be able to go to school and stuff, which then leads to obviously dropouts. And so they needed the money to go to school so that they could get a job. But then the rich were always arguing that they weren't spending the money to go get jobs and to go to school. They were spending it on like stuff like alcohol and cigarettes and that kind of stuff.
we basically all agreed that at one point, not everything's going to work as self-help. The government needs to step in. So, and we said with the economy, like people losing their jobs and their unemployment, and they have, I don't remember how much time it was, but they have so much time where if they don't get a job that's up to that pay, then the government, it's 2 years, the government pays it for them. So we're thinking of ideas like if they can have 2 years up to unemployment where the government's paying them how much ever they get, then that's just kind of hurting our government. So we thought there should be something where like if they're getting like $10 an hour and they get unemployed, and they can't find a job for that, then they should have to get a job and the government pays the difference. So if they only make $2 an hour or $8 an hour, then the government gives them $2 more each week or month, whatever it is, for each hour.